Hi, Mike Trout here, and I'm going to continue talking about the UPS coin and how what we're doing is basically creating a cryptocurrency. Let's go back here. Cryptocurrency that it backs by all these actual currencies. So we are aiming to be an 85 plus 100% backed crypto uh, coin, and this coin is actually has a huge vision behind it. A vision that I started in 2009 called Foundups, and these are decentralized um, autonomous entities that exist on the blockchain. Back then, I called it the Open Corp Cloud, and they are self-driving, self-perpetuating, and this is the coin that's going to run this whole ecosystem. So, like I like to say, is the revolution starts with you. Um, I have talked in the other videos basically about Foundups and ultimately the problem facing our planet, the bigger threat at hand, and the simple fact is we have to introduce another business model in parallel, one that isn't built on this silly idea of infinite growth on a finite planet. So right now there's a huge opportunity for individuals getting into cryptocurrency. It's difficult to get in. You don't know which coins to or tokens to get involved in. The solution is to have Foundup's crypto fund to take that away, take that pain away, and making it easy for anyone. And the outcome is people end up embracing, loving the blockchain. It's not just a few people right now getting access to some nice wealth initiatives. Anyone can get change their situation, because right now the market only has a 1% market diffusion. So imagine going back in time to when the stock market only had 1% of the people on it. Well, guess what? That's where we're at right now. So we're run by Dano. Dano is basically an entity that kind of like imagine Linux being the operating system for running corporations in the future. This is kind of the same idea. It's self-driving, self-organizing. There are no board members. There are no shareholders. They're only members. And if you own the coin, you're a member and you get one vote. Every member gets a vote. So this isn't proof of stake. You may have heard of that. It means that's proof of proof of how much money you have. That determines your voting. It isn't proof of work, which means how much work you do. It is what's known as proof of member or proof of value. So it's a combination of proof of member and proof of value. Both these things are, I came up with the idea of proof of value back in 2014. Started talking about it. Other people started to adopt it, like Serratio. They had their IPO. They've got some. They have some very very interesting work on that. But really, this is proof of member, proof of value, a combination, and this combination is going to run the Dano. So our UPS is really a smart token. You can click here on the PowerPoint and read about smart tokens. A smart DAO is ultimately one that has the same sort of methodology, but running the DAO. Um, Pat is our user case scenario. She's a real person. She wants to get crypto. She doesn't know how to. And we're going to make it easy for any Pat in the world, any individual in the world, whether it's a plumber, whether it's a housewife, anyone to get involved in crypto at a fair and a safe level, so they don't have any exposure and also have all the upside without really much of the downside. The Noodle is going to operate on basically your PC, everyone's PC. It's distributed computing. It's a lot of technologies happening right now. We have the Noodle working. We've been testing it since 2010, and it does some amazing things. All of this stuff is going to be put in the open source. The process on how basically this fund works is super simple. Pat puts in money. Right now, we're going to work with Coinbase. So Coinbase, she sets up a Coinbase account. She connects her Coinbase to her bank account. I recommend bank because they only pay 1% on the purchase, not 4% on the purchase. And you're going to set up monthly buys of $50 or $100 a month, whatever it is, 10 to 20% of your net disposable. Know what that means? That means basically after all the bills are paid, how much money you have left in the bank, and using that ultimate to buy Ethereum, not Bitcoin, but Ethereum. Then the Noodle, she puts it in. The Noodle then takes it from there and puts it into these different funds autonomously. The Noodle then, when you want to sell, you just simply send the Noodle your UPS coin, and it comes back to you, and then she can place it. Here's another way to look at it. Here's Pat. She logs in. She has a wallet. It connects to various APIs. For example, you'll be able to use a Visa with our app. So you'll actually be able to set aside and spend the profits that you have directly from it, from our system. You will be able to, we'll connect to other exchanges and other folks that allows you to get, cryptocurrency. So Coinbase is just our first API. We'll be using a whole bunch of them, and ultimately they're going to make it very easy for folks. The whole idea behind the Crypto Fund is super. This is it. This is exactly what we're doing. It's a very, very simple thing. And ultimately, we are looking for individuals to get involved, whether it's developers, whether it is as potential. We really don't have advisors, but folks who want to lend their name and say, hey, I like what Trout's doing. I like what Foundups is doing. And I'm putting, and they become what we call amplifiers on that. Moving forward, here is just some of the process in more detail, kind of how it works. Here's a little bit more. Again, it's very, very simple. What we're doing is super simple. Here's some of the technical you can read through this, how it works. We have things called, this is F2A, which is two-factor authentication. We also have multi-signature, which is, which will allow you to do some really cool things with multi-sig. And also we have withdrawal limits to help protect you. So for example, what happened with the DAO, if someone does able to hack and they start trying to pull your UPS coins out, you can say, hey, I don't want to now be able to withdraw any of it. I'm here to hold. So no one is going to be able to pull out your UPS, right? No hacker, because ultimately it's going to send you a two-factor and say, hey, someone's trying to pull out your UPS. Is this what you want to do? And you say no. So your UPS aren't going to go anywhere on your wallet. We have also optional recovery for multi-sig here, number 5. So imagine you've lost your wallet, you lost your ability to get into it, and you have someone else that you have authorized to ultimately help you get back into your wallet. Security is a very important thing for us, and we're going to work on that extensively. Here's another view of the technical details. There is actually a contract. So when someone sends Ethereum to us, we actually back it up with Ethereum and hold to say, hey, yes, we're matching this Ethereum with our Ethereum, and guess what? Until this contract is done and the transaction has been sold, right? So it's in limbo. So we hold that, and then we basically do the transaction for the UPS coin, which means actually buying these tokens and stuff. Then once that's done, then the noodle basically says yes, the contract has been filled. We get your Ethereum and we get our hold back. So what's very important is you're not sending us Ethereum blind. I'm not asking you to trust us that we're going to buy the cryptocurrencies. All of this is going to be automated. And all of this, and again, it's a rather simple thing. This AI it's just simple math, simple transaction. It's not rocket science. More of the details, Pat basically selling to the noodle, and the noodle sending back to Coinbase. So the wallet then sends the UPS to the noodle. Then the noodle basically will do the transactions. Now understand, we will have a lot of little microbots trading. Microbots have been trading on the Wall Street and everything else. So our microbots will be maybe trading, 0.0, I don't know, 0.005 Ether at all times, buying and selling these cryptocurrencies. I want you to imagine literally thousands of these little bots buying and selling, acting very human. A lot of times, if you look at the transactions on any sort of exchange, you see all these those are bots. Those are bots buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. This is what's going on Wall Street and everything else. So a lot of these little parts of the noodle, the noodle's made up of thousands of bots. These bots ultimately will be housed on distributed through any computer, so the bots can't be turned off. Once we set it up, the bots are running unless everyone says, no, I don't want to run it. And folks that are using there's a thing called storage. So for you basically releasing your storage, same thing for us, the same idea is folks who basically open up this AI utilization space, and other people are doing this. So all we have to do is kind of fit into this already existing technology that's already being developed. And that's the cool thing about Foundups. Since basically envisioning it way back in 2010, right? You have to understand, I've been living this paradigm longer than anyone else. I've been living this paradigm and thinking about thinking about a platform that's going to exist on it for a very long time. So where people are ultimately right now just getting into the paradigm and seeing like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Understand, I was there years ago. So I'm like 2, 3 steps ahead in my view of what folks are doing. And the beautiful thing is they're building the stuff that we need. And that's what I love. And that's why I'm in rush to launch Foundups, because I'm letting other people basically build the code that's all open source that we can use, that we can fork, that we can embed via API in it. It's that simple. Next talk, I'll talk about the noodle, but I'll hold it here. I'm trying to do shorter talks, and 10 minutes is definitely not a short talk. So I hope you enjoyed this part 3 of my talk. My name is Mike Trout. You can follow me on Twitter. You can Skype with me. I'm very accessible on Skype. I do not make appointments. If I am green on Skype, just send me a call. Don't say, hey, I want to talk to you tomorrow. Call me. I'm just too busy to make appointments. So if I'm green, just send me just call me. It's Foundup with no S. They call me Mr. Foundup, or Foundup is on Skype. You can also reach me on WeChat as Foundups, plural. So I apologize. Foundups, plural on WeChat. Foundup on Skype is singular. Look forward to hearing from you all. I'm also on Telegram, 202-656-6012, or you can call me and talk to me directly.